Welcome back, deep divers. Great to have you with us for our 8th deep dive exploring what we call the digital diaspora. It's this fascinating global spread of digital tech and innovation.
It really is. Constantly evolving.
Absolutely. And today, we're zooming in on a particularly exciting part of that map. Digital marketing for startups in the Middle East. We'll be putting a real spotlight on the United Arab Emirates.
A very hot topic right now.
Definitely. Now, we've touched on digital marketing before in, previous deep dives. It's a field that just doesn't sit still, does it? Always changing.
Never a dull moment.
For sure. You can actually check out those past deep dives on our site. And hey, send us your questions or comments there too. We love hearing from you. So our mission today, it's sort of twofold. First, we want to unpack why the UAE has become such a magnet for new businesses. It feels like it happened almost overnight.
Yeah, the growth has been phenomenal.
And then building on that, we'll get right into the nitty-gritty, the essential digital marketing strategies that new businesses absolutely need to, well, not just survive, but really make a mark in what's become a very competitive landscape there.
Exactly. Think of this as maybe a shortcut. We're aiming to give you the core insights into both the unique opportunities in the UAE's startup scene and the practical steps you need to take to grab them.
Bridging the why and the how. Love it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Giving you that actionable intel without you needing to wade through everything yourself.
Okay, let's start with that why. For a long time, the image of the UAE might have been, well, deserts, maybe oil wealth, that traditional picture.
Right, the old stereotype.
But that's shifted dramatically. What's the story behind places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi suddenly emerging as these global hubs for startups, for innovators, for visionary entrepreneurs from everywhere? How did they engineer that transformation?
Well, it certainly wasn't accidental. So it's been a very deliberate, very strategic move. The leadership in the UAE saw pretty early on that relying solely on finite resources like oil and gas, well, it has its limits,
Sure, it's not sustainable long term.
Exactly. So they consciously pivoted towards economic diversification. They set out to actively build an environment specifically designed for innovation and entrepreneurship.
And the government's role in that has been pretty central, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely pivotal. They've been the main catalyst. Think about the free zones, for example. These aren't just designated areas. They're like powerful magnets for businesses.
How so? What makes them so attractive?
They offer really compelling incentives, things like significant tax breaks, super flexible company registration processes, and much easier business licensing.
Okay.
And critically, they often allow 100% foreign ownership and have really simplified procedures. That just massively lowers the hurdles for setting up shop, especially for international companies.
Right. Makes it financially viable from the get-go.
Precisely. Plus, the government doesn't just create the environment. It actively participates through venture capital funding, injecting capital into promising startups.
So direct investment, too.
Yes. And then you have the accelerator programs, things like the Dubai Future Accelerators or Abu Dhabi Catalyst. These are huge. They do more than just provide funds.
They connect people.
Exactly. They connect startups with investors, offer incubation spaces, provide access to experienced mentors and advisors, and give really practical hands-on help to scale up fast.
So it's this whole package, not just rules and regulations, but actual support infrastructure. But I wonder, how easy is it really for a small team, a startup, to actually tap into that funding or mentorship? Does it get bureaucratic?
That's always a fair question with any large initiative.
Yeah.
But the design of these programs, the intent, is definitely to streamline access. The free zones are literally built to minimize red tape. And the accelerators, their whole purpose is to fast-track those crucial connections. It's meant to be an efficient pathway. And this support structure, it rests on a really impressive tech-savvy infrastructure.
Right, the foundation.
Absolutely. You need that bedrock for any modern business. We're talking serious high-speed internet across the country, non-negotiables.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, state-of-the-art transportation networks, moving goods and people easily. And cutting-edge facilities, co-working spaces designed for collaboration, research labs, prototyping hubs. They're built to foster that innovative spark. And you can't overlook the strategic location. The UAE is genuinely a crossroads.
Gateway to the world, they often say.
It really is. Perfectly positioned between Asia, Africa, and Europe. For a startup, that means relatively easy access to incredibly diverse markets, potential customers, investors across 3 continents. It's ideal if you're thinking globally from day one.
Makes a lot of sense. It feels like it's more than just the physical stuff, though. There's this melting pot aspect people talk about, the human element. How important is that?
Hugely important, maybe even underestimated sometimes. The country's diversity is a massive strength. It attracts skilled people from, well, everywhere.
So you get different perspectives.
Exactly. You get this incredible mix of talent, different approaches, different skill sets. That kind of environment naturally sparks creativity and leads to more dynamic problem solving. You get solutions you might not find in a more homogeneous setting. And this all feeds into the bigger picture, this vision of being beyond oil, a future-focused concept.
Moving away from that traditional base.
Right. And what's really interesting is that a lot of the startup activity now is in really cutting-edge areas: renewable energy, blockchain, AI. The UAE is actively positioning itself as a leader in these future technologies. That creates sustainable economic growth and opportunities far beyond oil and gas.
It really sounds like this deeply integrated ecosystem where, like you said, collaboration is key. How does that actually play out on the ground? How is that spirit fostered?
It's woven into the fabric. The whole startup scene there seems to operate on this shared sense of purpose. Co-working spaces and incubators, they aren't just desks for rent. They deliberately provide mentors, resources, and build a community where people feel comfortable sharing problems and finding solutions together.
A real community feel.
Yeah. And that network of accelerators is vital too. They're constantly connecting startups with the right industry players, potential investors, strategic partners. It gives them a platform and access that could otherwise take years to build organically.
That is incredibly compelling. Hearing about all this support, you naturally start thinking about success rates. It sounds fantastic, but startups are tough anywhere, right? What do the numbers actually say about success and, well, failure in the UAE?
You're right to ask. The support is strong, but the startup journey is inherently risky. Statistically, the UAE is doing well. It hosts around 5,600 tech startups right now. Yeah, that's significantly more than, say, Saudi Arabia, which has about 1,600. And SMEs, small and medium enterprises, they already contribute something like 63.5% to the UAE's non-oil GDP. That's substantial.
Huge contribution.
And the venture capital market is growing fast, projected to hit nearly AED 2.5 billion by the end of 2025. So the numbers definitely point to a thriving ecosystem. However, the global statistic is pretty sobering. Roughly 80% of startups fail within their first couple of years.
Ouch.
Yeah. And the UAE isn't immune. That failure rate often comes down to a few usual suspects. Maybe not enough market research, a weak business model running out of cash, and critically for our chat today, ineffective marketing strategies.
Ah, the perfect segue.
Exactly. Which is why understanding and nailing digital marketing is just so fundamentally important for any startup wanting to beat those odds in the UAE.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for our deep dive today. So you've got this supportive environment, maybe a great idea, but you still need to reach people. That brings us straight to digital marketing. What's unique about the digital landscape in the UAE that startups need to grasp? What's the secret sauce for getting noticed online there?
Well, the UAE is incredibly digitally mature, which is both a massive opportunity and a significant challenge.
How so?
Okay, look at the numbers. January 2023 figures showed about 9.38 million internet users. That's 99% penetration.
Practically everyone is online.
Exactly. Your entire potential market is right there. But it also means the digital space is crowded. Then you have mobile, 19 million active connections, over 200% penetration. People have multiple devices, always connected.
Wow.
And social media, 10 million users. That's technically more than the population, 105%.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone's online, on mobile, and on social. And the market itself reflects this. The digital ad spend is projected to hit over US $1.1 billion in 2024. It's growing at about 9% annually.
Big numbers.
Huge. And businesses are backing this shift. Around 63% recently increased their digital marketing budgets, and something like 94% of small businesses plan to spend more in 2024. Digital isn't just an option. It's the main arena.
Okay, a massive, highly engaged digital population and businesses pouring money in. So for a startup, maybe one with limited resources, what are the absolute must-do digital marketing strategies to actually stand out and, get customers in 2025? Where's the smart money?
Great question. Focus is key for startups. Let's break down the most impactful things. Some are foundational, others are about growth. First, absolutely fundamental, building a conversion-focused website. This isn't just your online shop window, it's your digital HQ.
Got it.
It has to be mobile first, given that huge mobile penetration. It needs to load super fast, be secure,
Yeah.
and crucially, it must be designed from the ground up to convert visitors, get them to sign up, inquire, buy. And here's the key UAE insight. It absolutely must offer seamless support for both Arabic and English. It's a dual language market. If your site isn't truly bilingual, you're missing a huge chunk of the audience and frankly, showing you don't quite get the local context. Plus, optimize it for local SEO, use schema markup.
So not just any website, but a locally tuned bilingual conversion machine.
Exactly, which flows perfectly into strategy number 2, local SEO and Google business optimization. People in the UAE searching online often include city names, best coffee Sharjah, digital agency Dubai.
Right, very specific searches.
Very specific high-intent searches, so you absolutely have to claim and meticulously optimize your Google business profile. Get listed in relevant UAE online directories. Actively work on getting positive customer reviews, they matter hugely, and run geo-targeted ads that hit those local search terms. Third strategy, focusing on direct connection. WhatsApp marketing. WhatsApp usage in the UAE is massive. People often prefer a quick WhatsApp chat for inquiries over calls or emails.
Interesting. More direct.
Very direct. So smart startups integrate chat on WhatsApp buttons right on their website. They use WhatsApp Business for automated answers to common questions. And they might send out updates or offers via broadcast lists, but always with clear consent, of course. It's a direct line. Fourth, targeted ads on Meta and Google, still one of the quickest ways to get visible and find early customers. The targeting options are incredibly granular.
By city, language.
Exactly. By emirate, city, language, demographics, interests.
Yeah.
You can get really precise. And again, for the UAE, you must A/B test your ad creative in both Arabic and English. See what resonates. And use retargeting, bring back people who visited your site but didn't convert.
Okay, that's already a lot for a small team to handle website, SEO, WhatsApp ads. How can they manage all that effectively without getting overwhelmed? Are there tools to help?
Absolutely. And that leads us right into strategy number 5, which is a real game changer. Leveraging AI tools to scale smarter and doing it alongside data-driven digital strategies.
AI. Okay, how does that help a startup?
In so many ways. AI can help generate first drafts of content, do competitor research for e-commerce products, automate repetitive tasks like social media posting, even create decent visuals from text prompts. It lets small teams punch way above their weight.
Efficiency booster.
Massively. And on the data side, AI is driving hyper-personalization tailoring messages to individual user preferences. It powers predictive analytics to anticipate what customers might want next. It can analyze sentiment online to see how people are reacting to your brand in real time. And it optimizes ad bidding automatically for better ROI. Given that over 70% of marketing budgets are expected to be digital by 2025, using AI to make that spend smarter is crucial. Strategy number 6, embracing short-form video content. It's just non-negotiable now. Platforms like Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, that's where huge audiences are spending time in the UAE.
So what kind of videos work?
Think quick, engaging content, founder stories, behind-the-scenes looks, fast tutorials, customer testimonials. The real trick in the UAE is making it culturally relevant in both languages, understanding the nuances of humor or storytelling that connect with both Arab and expat viewers. It's more than just translation. 7th, for building trust. Collaborating with UAE-based influencers. Trust is huge in the UAE consumer market, and influencers carry a lot of weight, especially in areas like fashion, tech, food.
Though for the big names.
Not necessarily. For startups, often micro-influencers, maybe 5K to 50K followers, are actually more effective. They tend to have higher engagement, feel more authentic, and are more affordable. Focus on genuine, story-based campaigns, maybe with exclusive discount codes. 8th, don't neglect the fundamentals. Building an email list from the start, email still delivers incredible ROI for nurturing leads and keeping existing customers engaged.
How do you build that list?
Use simple pop-ups or embedded forms on your site. Offer a clear incentive, a discount, early access, exclusive content. Segment your list so you can send more relevant messages. And set up automated sequences, like a welcome email series.
You mentioned bilingual content for the website and ads. How critical is really prioritizing Arabic content overall? Is English still dominant?
That's a really key point, number 9, prioritizing Arabic content and localization. It's shifting fast. English was dominant, yes, but the tide is turning. In 2023, maybe only 30% of businesses really focused on Arabic SEO. That's projected to jump over 50% by 2025.
Why the shift?
Brands are finally realizing the huge value in truly connecting with Arabic-speaking consumers on their own terms. It's not just polite, it's smart business. Plus, search engines are getting much better at understanding and ranking high-quality Arabic content. It's moving from a nice-to-have to a real competitive edge. And finally, we have to touch on the growth of e-commerce and social commerce, and link to that, adapting to evolving consumer behavior. E-commerce in the UAE is booming $10 billion in 2023, projected over $15 billion by 2025. And it's not just traditional websites anymore. There's a massive move towards social commerce.
Yeah.
People discovering, researching, and buying products directly within Instagram, TikTok, even WhatsApp.
Shopping without leaving the app.
Exactly. Live commerce selling via live video streams is also taking off. This all ties into a broader shift where consumers expect seamless, personalized, convenient experiences across all touchpoints: website, app, social, physical stores if you have them. Consistency is key.
That's a really comprehensive set of strategies. It sounds like a roadmap. But even with a good map, there must be bumps in the road, right? What are the main challenges startups face trying to implement all this in the UAE?
Oh, definitely. It's dynamic, but that comes with hurdles. Navigating regulatory compliance, especially around data privacy laws, can be complex and time-consuming for lean teams.
Yeah, I bet.
Truly mastering the language and cultural diversity in marketing messages, going beyond basic translation, takes real effort and insight. The intense competition means you constantly need to innovate just to be heard.
Standing out is tough.
It is. And then you have the ongoing digital headaches like ad blocking and potential ad fraud wasting budget, and just the sheer pace of technological change. Keeping up with new platforms, new AI tools, new algorithms requires constant learning and adaptation.
It sounds like a lot to juggle. But despite those challenges, the overall feeling seems really positive. What's the future look like? What's next for digital marketing in the UAE?
The outlook is definitely bright, but fast-paced. We'll see continued emergence of new tech AI. We'll get even more integrated, maybe more AR and VR experiences, blockchain potentially playing a role in transparency or loyalty.
More integration.
Definitely. A much stronger push towards omni-channel marketing, making that online-offline journey totally seamless for the customer. There'll be an even bigger focus on data privacy and transparency, driven by regulation but also by consumer demand for trust. We'll see hyper-personalization at scale, getting incredibly precise with tailored messages. And alongside all the tech, a growing premium on content quality and authenticity. Cutting through the noise will require genuine value and real connection.
So wrapping this up for you, our deep diver, it seems clear that success for startups in the UAE really comes down to this powerful mix. On one hand, you've got this incredibly supportive ecosystem the country has built, the government help, the infrastructure, the talent.
That foundation is key.
Absolutely. And on the other hand, you need smart, localized, and constantly evolving digital marketing driven by data.
Spot on. It's not enough just to be there. Startups need to embrace the new technologies, constantly adapt as consumer habits shift, and base their decisions on real insights from data. That's the formula for growth in this unique market.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to chew on. Given how fast everything's changing and how high the stakes are, how might these digital marketing strategies, when continuously refined, do more than just help startups survive? Could they actually end up shaping the whole future economic direction of the UAE?
Interesting question.
Something to ponder. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Do check out our previous episodes, and we'll catch you on the next one.